Which one do I like? Just ask Steve. I'll ask you some stuff that I didn't ask Steve. What's the meanest thing ever said to you before, during, or after a gig?
How can anyone say anything mean, really? I really can't. I mean, a couple times we've been told we're too loud, or like, you know, one time we played a show in some place and they just had no idea what they were booking, and basically from the first song of our set, and we were keeping it pretty quiet considering how we usually play, and just basically the guy just paid us to leave like after 2 songs. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, I don't know what they were expecting, but yeah. So maybe that's somewhat offensive. That's not even really offensive. It's just like the guy clearly booked us with having no idea, you know, what he was actually in for. Where was that? I can't even remember.
What was the first LP, cassette, or CD, or whatever you bought with your own money?
Cassette? Cassette would have been something stupid. Probably, you know, Vanilla Ice or Crisscross. Something like that. You know, Crisscross was big because it was my name when I was a kid, and I totally wore suspenders and stuff like that. Like, what do you call those? Like the farmer, you know, what they used to wear.
Overalls.
Overalls, there you go. Yeah. I think I tried putting them on backwards in my room one time, and my mom wouldn't let me leave. First CD I purchased with my own money, because it was like a big deal for me to get like a CD, and that was, I think Radiohead Pablo Honey was the first thing I actually paid for. The first gifts that I was given in terms of CDs was Nirvana In Utero and Blind Melon, like their first, whatever the B-Girl song was, which is still a great song. That's a great fucking song. And then first record I listened to at like a formative age was after a lot of people, after being huge into Nirvana for a while and just really, you know, that music resonating with me and basically making me want to learn guitar, and that was I picked up a Beatles record from my dad's collection after reassembling the entire, like, you know, record player back into like an old like amp and receiver. Plugged it in just so I could check out what everyone was talking about, Kurt Cobain being the new John Lennon. So I put on a track that I'd never heard before, and it was I Want You, She's So Heavy, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking awesome.
What makes you want to take it off and get it on?
That's an interesting question. I like to be intellectually engaged, I guess, and an overall really attractive body will make me want to do that. If you're talking about, I don't know, I got naked at a show one time, so music clearly does it for me.
Or booze.
Booze, yeah, booze and music will do that.
Drinking the overspill off of a shot tray.
Yeah.
Will do that directly.
Yeah. And sometimes booze leads to over other things, you know. Yeah.
Fair enough. Who would be your ideal dinner guest, living or dead, and what would you serve them?
Bill Hicks would definitely be one. Kurt Cobain. I'm picturing a 4-person table here with me at one side, so that leaves one other person. Let's say John Lennon. Yeah, why not? What I would serve them, I don't know. I know Kurt Cobain pretty much existed entirely off Kraft Dinner for his entire life. John Lennon was like a macrobiotic guy for a while. And Bill Hicks would be liking, you know, beef and cigarettes. So maybe I'd have a buffet, you know, catered to veggies and hardcore red-blooded Americans.
How do you spoil yourself?
I spoil myself by locking myself up in, like, you know, my bedroom or something with a guitar, a few bottles of wine, and other things, and just basically don't get any sunlight, so I'm actually spoiling in terms of, you know, becoming more rotten and cranky. And yeah, watching old shitty 80s movies on, I still have a working VCR, and I still have a pretty significant VHS collection. So I usually have that going on in the background. A good stock of booze, like I like a good Shiraz or scotch, a peaty scotch. guitar and gear, recording setup. That's how I spoil myself, by staying contained in a room with all the supplies I need.
Nice. That had to have been something like 5.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, that works.